And ready to get it going, we see the Magic. It's the Eastern Conference on display featuring the Detroit Pistons. We're at the Amway Center, Orlando, and the fans are cheering for their Magic. Welcome, folks, and thanks for sharing part of your weekend with us here at 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. I'm with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. And as we take a look at Brandon Jennings right here, guys, what's your take?
And Jennings is a tremendously quick player, Kevin. Not real physically dominant. He's got that skinny frame, but he's so fast and quick that he can get anywhere he wants on offense. And then defensively, he loves to read the passing lanes, make steals, and get out in transition.
Well, he's extremely tough to stop in the open court, Steve. I mean, his finishing is much improved. And when he gets around the rim, he has pretty good air time, hang time, and dexterity to glide past defenders and finish the play. Well, Detroit has always been one of those teams you think of when it comes to franchises that epitomize the rough and tough Eastern Conference. Always look to be a tough defensive team, and they might not have the flashiest players, but they have some of the toughest, no doubt.
There's the dish to Stuckey. It's back to Jennings. Here's Smith. Shot is no good. Some solid defense from Harris. Pistons on defense. Aflalo with it. Now Smith defending. Nelson against Stuckey. The three. And there's Jameer Nelson on the assist by Aflalo. Nelson's got the game going here with the first basket for the Magic. And it's Detroit's ball. It's a three-point game. And Clark, as you said, the Pistons were strong against the rest of the East last year. Didn't give away too many games, and 25 of their 29 wins came against Eastern opponents.
Yeah, they took advantage of the weaker conference for sure, but it just shows you how much growth they have ahead of them, because in order to get to the playoffs, they're going to have a good record against the West as well.
He kicks it to Harris. Harris gets the screen from Davis. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Pass to Stuckey. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Aaron Aflalo.
Last season, a hard one for Stuckey. Pistons finally shifted him back to his natural shooting guard position. A lot of people thought he would break out, but instead, he had his lowest field goal percentage and scoring average since his rookie season.
And he knocks down the first one. And towards the end of last season, Rodney Stuckey finally seemed to get untracked.
Well, I tell you, early in his career, I really liked his potential. He's got tremendous talent, a strong slasher who can get to the line. Those are the kind of players who can usually be relied upon to produce buckets. We'll see how he bounces back.
Both good from the line that time.
Boy, it was a tough year for the Magic last season. They found no salvation here in Orlando either. They were dreadful at home and had the fewest home court wins of any team in the league. Tough pill for the fans there to swallow.
Now here is Davis. Davis setting the pick for Harris. From 12 feet out, shot clock at 6. That one wide left. And here is Drummond. It's a three-point game. Pass to Jennings. Basket is good. The assist from Stuckey. And that home record of the Magic's that you mentioned, Clark, a paltry 12-29. So, Steve, that being said, a big part of why they ended with the fewest wins in the entire league. Why?
Well, I mean, if you can't defend your home court, good luck to you. But the big thing is there's just not enough talent. I mean, it's a team that is in full-blown rebuilding mode, and last year was kind of the initial season in that campaign, and it obviously showed.
Here's Stuckey after the made shot from Aflalo. Smith inside, guarded by Harris. Got it. Good job in the low post.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
The Magic have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Nelson left side. Jennings with the rebound. The Pistons trailing. Smith left side. Stuckey kicks to Jennings. Follow against Stuckey. Smith for three. The shot is off. And it's the Magic taking it the other way. Nelson off the pick from Vucevic. Here's Harris. And again, it's Orlando with the three.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
Now here's Jennings. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. The drive by Smith. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Smith's got his second basket.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
Aflalo dishes to Nelson. Davis with a screen on Jennings. Nelson, no luck.
Boy, I'm shocked he didn't make that one. He usually knocks that one down with ease.
Kicks it to Smith. To the right side. The drive by Jennings. Here's Monroe. And he hits it to tie the game up. Monroe's got his first points in this one.
How about the delivery in the lane? Just perfectly done.
Nelson off the pick from Vucevic. Dishes it to Harris. Nelson from outside. Nelson with another miss.
Well, you know, Andre Drummond got off to a phenomenal start his rookie season. I mean, the fans in Detroit were campaigning for him to get more minutes. But the Pistons kept him under 20 minutes a game, and when his back troubles crept up, it kind of vindicated their plan to bring him along slowly.
So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Charlie Villanueva's checked in for Andre Drummond. Jerebko comes in for Greg Monroe. Singler, he's checked in for Smith. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Rodney Stuckey. We've got 1:23 left in the first quarter of the game. And Steve, going back to Drummond, talk about that balancing act for coaches. How much time to give a rookie? How much rope do you give him?
Well, it all depends on where your franchise is at that particular time. If you're a playoff team, you probably don't give a rookie much time. But if you're young and rebuilding like the Pistons are, you give him a lot of rope, a lot of time, and hope that he learns what the NBA is all about as it grows from one night to the next. .102 left in the first. Singler passes to Billups. Back to Singler. He feeds it to Villanueva. Clock at 6. Caldwell Pope laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
Here is Nelson after the made shot from Caldwell Pope. For the three, Jameer Nelson, and that's good. Nelson's got 8.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
On the wing, Singler. There's 25 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Billups from outside. Orlando grabs the miss. And here's Oladipo. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Feeds it to Harkless. Shoots a 3. And again, it's the Magic from deep. Just 4 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. And that does it for the first quarter. Magic lead by 4. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for Orlando.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Orlando, Oladipo and Harkless at the 2 and the 3. Jason Maxiell is out there with Andrew Nicholson, and it's Nelson in at the point guard position. Pistons trail by 7. Phillips with the ball, connects in the foul line jumper.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Orlando's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land, 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight.
One of the problems for the Pistons last season was they always seemed to come out after halftime flat. Just couldn't sustain the kind of intensity and focus needed to win consistently. That was a big part of why they had such a tough year.
So it's Detroit now, following Jameer Nelson's three-point attempt. A shot's good from Jerebko. And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here. Well, going back to the Pistons, the third quarter for them was by far their worst scoring quarter. Several points lower than any other quarter they played in, and with the sample size you get over the course of a season, that is no accident.
Well, you know, what you think about now with a team like this is that if it's young, maybe they're not used to the tweaks and the adjustments that other teams are making at them over the halftime break. So this is an area for improvement for this Detroit team.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Andre Drummond's checked in for Villanueva. Monroe comes in for Jerebko. And Smith subbed in for Kyle Zingler. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Yes, during that break, Coach Maurice Cheeks had some words for his team. Back to fundamentals. That's what he told them. Specifically, he'd like to see them implement the pick and roll as often as possible. The other thing he discussed with them was that they should be forceful with the ball. He said if they see a gap in the defense, they should go straight to the bucket. So, Kevin, change is already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Aflalo following the basket by Brandon Jennings. Harris outside. Just 5 to shoot. And there's a call on Tobias Harris. That's his first foul.
Great defense. He anticipated the play and got there first.
Yeah, I think he got there in time. Nice play.
Davis is checked in for Maurice Harkless. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Here's Jennings. He dishes it to Monroe. It's back to Jennings. Just 5 on the clock. And Detroit again with the bucket. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by.
You know, if you're not a big, strong guard in the NBA, it can be tough going in the paint. But for Brandon Jennings, you know, he's got that floater in the lane, and that's what's allowed him, despite his slight frame, to be able to score in the paint.
And Detroit has possession. They trail by 3. The feed to Stuckey. Trying to find Smith. He's got it now. The jump hook, and good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. 6 points for Josh Smith. And, you know, going back to Jennings, so fast, incredibly explosive. He can really Clark it into the lane.
Yeah, but, you know, he struggled finishing at the rim. Some of that because of his size. Not really a physically imposing guy. Developing that floater and learning to avoid NBA shot blockers is something that he has to continue to develop.
Passes to Stuckey. The dish to Smith. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Monroe. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know, the Pistons have shown interest in signing Monroe to a long-term deal, but he said that he would like to wait till after his 4th season before putting ink to paper. It might be in his best interest to do that. He's a promising young player.
And Greg Monroe, the number 7 pick back in 2010. You redo that draft, he could have been the top pick, number 2, number 3, right in that area.
Yeah, great pickup for Detroit. I mean, you think about what he does for this team. Got a triple-double last season, first Piston player, in fact, in 8 years to do that. So I think he's got the potential to be a 20-10 guy with great assists for a long time.
You know, there was a lot of talk about the Magic not getting equal value when they traded Dwight Howard to the Lakers before last season, but you take a look at how both teams started, the Lakers and the Magic, and For a time there, the Magic had a better record early in the season than the Lakers. So I think it worked out okay for the Magic.
That one is no good. Well, Clark, like you said, hard to believe, but it's true. The Magic did have a better record than the Lakers for the early part of the season, but that was mostly due to a surprise down year from the Lakers, Steve, and a hot start for Orlando.
And remember, the Magic did get that big win at Staples against LA. That was kind of a revenge for the D. Howard trade. But as time wore on, the Magic's lack of talent showed, and they really struggled the rest of the season.
Pistons trail by 4. 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Drummond sets the screen for Jennings. Jennings off a pick from Drummond. There's Jennings. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Rebounds are split just about down the middle in this game, Clark.
I'd venture to guess whichever team is able to maintain that energy level on the glass will have the upper hand the rest of the way.
And the Pistons making a change here. Magic leading by 4. Now here's Oladipo. The pass to Davis. The open shot, Harris. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Harris has got 4 points in the quarter.
And yeah, they're moving the ball now. 8 of their last 10 points coming off assisted buckets.
Steve, nothing makes a coach smile as much as pure, selfless teamwork.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, it certainly seemed the Magic were to be lost after Dwight Howard, but they have quickly turned things around. The development of their young players last year and nabbing the #2 overall pick in the draft helped speed that process. They took Victor Oladipo and now have a fantastic collection of young talent. We'll see how quickly they can get back to the postseason, guys.
Well, they didn't get it done last season, Doris, but they're hoping with the revamped roster, this will be the year. Now, here is Smith after the miss from Harris. Here's Monroe, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Monroe's got 5 points so far.
That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
Oladipo misses. Pistons trail by 4.
The question is, do they go 2 for 1 here?
Can they get a good shot in time? That's the question.
Jennings kicks to Monroe, and the layup's good off the glass. He's got 7.
They are so productive in the low post right now. 8 straight points have come inside the paint.
That's bully ball they're playing there.
And Oladipo kicks to Harris. Oladipo sets the screen for Harris. Outside for Davis. Harris dishes to Davis. Gets it off. Buried it just in the nick of time.
He sure did. Right on cue. Man, was that major drama. He loved those situations, though.
Boy, that was big time. Knew exactly how much time he had left. Squared up and let it fly.
Second quarter ends in a tight one. It's the Magic. They're up by 5. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Jameer, looking back at this first half of play, what sorts of things need to happen for you guys in the second half?
Well, we need to get stops. The first team that gets stops puts together some strings on the defensive end. I think we'll win the game. And, we have to take more pride in things we're doing. We're doing some things differently, but I think we can play a little harder, actually a lot harder on defense.
Jameer, thank you. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And, folks, stay right where you are for the halftime show. Then we'll be back for the start of the second half in the third quarter.
Now, presented by
quarter's just about to start.
the Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. You look at Tobias Harris, he has really been playing well.
Seemed like he made everything he got. I mean, anytime he had an open look, he took advantage of the opportunity there in that first half.
And Steve, they were all good looks. I mean, his shot selection has been terrific throughout the game.
On the court for the Pistons, Monroe and Drummond there inside. Rodney Stuckey out there with Jennings. And it's Smith in at the small forward position.
Really was a very strong season, guys, for Jameer Nelson as he bounced back in a big way. You know, he got his scoring up and was acting as a playmaker at a much higher level than what we were accustomed to seeing from him.
Free throw drops for Nelson. Clark, you just mentioned the uptick in assists for Jameer Nelson. He's the Magic's franchise record holder in assists, Steve, with over 3,000.
You know, I would have guessed that Scott Skiles had more than that.
Me too.
Skiles had so many back in the day, but it just shows you the consistency and the production that Nelson has given that team over almost a decade now.
Both free throws good for Nelson.
Clearly, Orlando was a team in transition last year. They had a group of younger, inexperienced players, and many times when that's the case, you'll get off to slow starts in games, and that certainly proved to be true for the Magic.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here. Clark, you mentioned that the Magic were at the very bottom of the league when it came to scoring in the first quarter of games. Steve, you got to get better as the game went on, obviously, but you can't start every game in a hole down like they did and expect to do well.
Well, we just go back to the roster, and that explains everything. I mean, you look at who they had, the lack of a go-to scorer out of the gates, and that explains the slow start. So this is really all about continuing to build the roster and try to put together some talent.
Drummond was really playing extremely well during his rookie year, and all of a sudden showing the promise that scouts saw in him earlier, and then he had the back injury, and that really put a speed bump in his progress.
And he makes the first but misses the second. Going back to Drummond, the Pistons training staff had found going into last season that despite his incredible athleticism, he did have some imbalances strength-wise.
That's something that often happens when a player comes out of college. He gets to the NBA, very sophisticated training staffs, and they find ways that players can improve athletically and strength-wise. And that's kind of scary when you're talking about Andre Drummond. I mean, as if he's not already athletic and strong enough. Well, that's one way to get your second half started on the right foot. An easy layup against some soft defense.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, gentlemen. Well, Josh Smith with over 4 assists per game last season, good for first among power forwards. Smith said, quote, "I like passing the basketball. People want to get rewarded." Guys, Smith is such a versatile big man. No surprise to see him richly rewarded with his new contract this season.
And Doris, with his great passing, he can punish teams who might double team. Good stuff, thank you. Here is Jennings. After the made shot from Aflalo. Monroe, no good. Nelson against Jennings. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Vucevic with the bucket.
Perfect on their first 3 shots now. That's the way to start the second half.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
Boy, you look at Glenn Davis out of LSU, guys, and he might have made one heck of a left tackle in football. 6'9", close to 300 lbs. He's as strong as they come, and yet surprisingly as quick-footed as any big man in the league.
Charlie Villanueva's checked in for Greg Monroe. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Jennings off a pick from Drummond. With the floater. That one's good, and the Magic lead is cut down now to just 8 points with the basket from Jennings. And Glenn Davis, an improving rebounder in recent years, and Stevie uses his size well defensively.
He's tough to back down. He's got a barrel chest, strong legs. Offensively, he's not a guy who finishes over the top, but he's crafty in the way he can go through bodies and kind of find ways to get the ball into the basket.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Yes, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Jacques Vaughn said to the team. He's looking for some old-fashioned offense right now. He wants the pick and roll to be the centerpiece of their game plan at that end of the floor. The second thing he talked about was working hard to get their shooters open. He wants them looking for those gaps on the perimeter and letting it fly whenever they find them. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. He misses the free throw.
Detroit really is one of the younger teams in the league as far as their core and future are concerned. It's always nice to kind of think, what might they become going forward? But they are going to struggle at times, especially on the road.
Kyle Singler, he's checked in for the Pistons. Phillips comes in for Rodney Stuckey. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Pistons did have big problems getting wins on the road, and that is one of the reasons why the fans were a bit frustrated with how the team developed over the course of last year. Steve, they just couldn't finish off games when they were the road team.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Just 11-30 away from the Palace. And, you know, when you're a young team, it takes a lot of mental toughness and growth to be able to close out games on the road. It's something they're still learning.
And here's Jennings following the three from Jameer Nelson. It's Jennings with the drive. Banked in off the glass. Jennings has got 12 points in the game.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Nelson outside. He kicks it to Harkless. Nelson outside. Misses the three. Pistons trail by 9. Phillips kicks to Villanueva. Phillips with the ball. Guarded now by Harkless. Doubled by Nelson. Singler right side. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Villanueva. All alone. Rebound by the Magic. Nicholson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Harkless the pass to Nelson. Harkless dishes to Nelson. Right wing. Aflalo off a pick from Nicholson. Aflalo, no good.
Well, he's wide open there, but really struggles from that range. Maybe there's a reason he's open.
Here's Singler, and he banks in the layup.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
When the Magic made the big trade they did to send an unhappy Dwight Howard away, everybody thought they'd be the doormat of the league, and that wasn't quite the case. They were able to sneak up on some teams early and had enough talent to battle others late.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, over that last break, I listened to what Maurice Cheek said addressing his team. He said to his guys, let's get serious about driving the lane and putting pressure on their interior defenders. That's where he sees the soft spot in this defense. He then made another statement, telling his guys to stay alert and aware when defending the outside shot, saying, quote, they can hurt us on the perimeter if we don't stay right up on them. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
All right, Doris, and it's Maxeel, no good. Pistons trail by 7. Here's Caldwell Pope, cranes the three-pointer. Caldwell Pope's got 5. And as good as their season appeared early on, the Magic did eventually cool off and teams were able to overpower them. Steve, early on, they definitely caught teams off guard, I thought, and were playing well above themselves.
I agree, Kevin. They executed really well. They would run Aflalo and Redick off those screens. And Vucevic was a surprise, a really good young player down low. But they've got to continue to build this roster in order to compete at the highest level.
Phillips, no good.
Yeah, no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
We say it all the time. The execution was excellent. The result not as good, but good ball movement anyway.
Now here's Harkless. Nelson off the pick from Axiel. Pass to Harkless. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Harkless has got 5 points so far.
Nice soft touch to drop that one in.
Drummond sets the screen for Billups on the wing singlet. Kept alive, Drummond. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominate.
Nelson kicks to Axiel. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
The Magic have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. That's good for Axiel. The Pistons making a change here. And good on the second, so he makes them both. 8 seconds left to play in the third. Stuckey left side. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And an ideal finish to the quarter for them as he drains it at the buzzer.
Boy, I like the fact he didn't rush it at all. Fantastic shot.
Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. Magic lead by 4. 2K Sports back in a moment from the Amway Center. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points. And here now is our State Farm assist of the game, and Steve coming earlier on a 3-pointer.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good passes tonight, some on the interior. This one on the outside, setting up his teammate perfectly for that 3-point look.
Pistons trail by 4. Nelson is flanked by Oladipo in the backcourt. Davis at the 4 and Vucevic at the 5. And it's Harris in at the 3 slot. That's who's out there for Orlando. Over to the wing. Oladipo misses. And, well, Detroit shooting percentage, 59%. The offense is running smoothly. Outside, Jennings. Out to Smith. This one for 3. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. 9 points for Smith.
And in a virtual free look at a 3-point shot, the defense completely lost him there.
Smith against Harris. Shot's good. And the Magic lead by 3.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
Yeah, and that's their goal down the stretch. Continue to find those close-range shots.
Now here's Jennings. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Shot clock at 6. Kicks to Uretko. Detroit needs to get off a shot. Jennings can't get that one to fall. Magic leading by 3. Oladipo with the ball. Now Smith defending. Out to Nelson. Here's the 3. The shot no good. And Detroit the other way now. Smith dishes to Uretko. Stuckey outside. He feeds it to Jennings. Out to Smith. Lots of room. And that one swishes right in.
Boy, poor defense at both ends. It kind of reminds me of your teams, Clark.
Well, not exactly. We did give a little better effort. I mean, neither squad really digging in at that end. At least we tried to play defense.
Harris passes to Oladipo. Wide open look. Rebound by Smith.
That's a tough one there because he's wide open. That's a shot he expects to make.
To take the lead, and down it goes. Three-pointer falls in from Jerebko. Jerebko's got the lead up to 2 now for Detroit. Now a timeout called by Orlando.
You know, because Josh Smith doesn't put up huge numbers in any one area of the game, he sometimes gets overlooked for what he does on the floor. One of the most versatile big men in the game.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, over the break, I listened in on Jacques Vaughn's huddle. With the game still up for grabs, he simply told his guys, we're right there. Stay focused, execute, and get it done. Kevin, let's see how it plays out.
And the Pistons making a change here. Drummond's checked in. And Steve, you mentioned Smith's versatility. There's no doubt he really fills up a stat sheet.
Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Kevin, he does it all, really, and pretty tough defense, too. An all-star caliber player, there's no doubt about that. He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
Nelson kicks to Davis. Here's Harris. And that one falls, coming off of Davis's feed. Davis has got 3 assists now in this one. For Detroit, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. Jennings off a pick from Drummond. Here's Monroe. Nelson with the rebound. Nelson's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Dishes it to Harris. Feeds to Vucevic. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, he's really adept at keeping possessions alive by hitting the boards and cashing in on some of those putbacks.
And I also can't get over how much energy he expends rebounding the basketball. He goes all out on the boards every single night.
That free throw, no good. Second free throw, no good. The Pistons leading. Stuckey gets a screen from Drummond. Stuckey dishes to Drummond. Smith on the wing. Stuckey outside. Outside Jennings. Offline with his 3.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide open look.
Nelson with it, and Jennings picks him up defensively. Nelson, the pass to a Flower. On the 3 off target. Detroit's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Stuckey kicks to Jennings. Back to Stuckey. He dishes it to Monroe. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroke. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Kick out to Afflalo. Takes a 3. Detroit with the rebound. 1:16 left in the fourth quarter. Monroe dishes to Smith. Jennings kicks to Smith. 6 to shoot. Stuckey tries inside. A 15-footer. And it comes off the front of the rim.
He's one guy the defense is not afraid to leave open from that range, and for obvious reasons.
Nelson, the pass to Davis. To take the lead. No luck. Good work defensively by Smith. I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
You know, I think that's probably a smart move.
I think so, too.
And that is the shot of the game.
Well, he's got the guts and courage to take it and the skill to make it.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. They're trailing by 3. 32 seconds left in the game. What do you think, guys?
You know, looking at how much time they have, I think it's likely you'll see them try to get a good look and score quickly.
Yeah, and I think it's a possible 2-for-1 situation, and so the next play they run will be interesting to see what they go with.
32 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
This is a huge possession.
You've got to execute under pressure. We're going to see what they're made of.
It's Jennings with the drive. Smith outside. Clock at 6. Here's Stuckey. Stuckey with another miss. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're losing by 3. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Well, they've got 2 options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim, and that wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
Now here is Harris.
A chance to tie it up, Clark.
A 3 would make it happen.
Once again off the mark, Orlando. And so the big win by Detroit in a tight game. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Steve and Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Brandon Jennings.